Before I welcome you all back officially to this installment of a Wheelin Wednesday here outside the canyon once again, I must give a disclaimer because had I not just struggled in edit, this is post-edit, pre-export, where a good 2 hours trying my very best to clean up that edit. I have been betrayed by cables yet again. The cable between the microphone and the GoPro upon which this video is shot I don't know if it wasn't plugged in all the way. I don't know what happened. I'm not 100% sure what happened. Maybe the USB-C on the media mod wasn't plugged all the way into the GoPro. Regardless, all I know is that the audio quality is incredibly variable through the length of this. Sometimes it's great, sometimes all you can hear is footfalls. So here is your previous disclaimer. But the morning was beautiful. We had a grand time. We find out how long Bruce can go on a single 4200 LAHV. No idea yet still how far Nigel will go because, spoilers, his battery made it all the way. We went pretty far. Map at the end, we see some things, we say some things. It was a delightful morning, and I didn't want to just can all the footage. So, for you one and all, Wheelin Wednesday installment 88 of variable audio quality, and it is currently, if you're watching it on the day, it is the what is it? Is it the 14th of this month? That means we're a week away from when I get paid by the folks at YouTube, and I'm buying another wireless microphone. Decision done. No more wired mic for those days. I fixed the wired mic on the everyday camera. I don't want to keep you too long on this part. The video's plenty long. Again, I get it. If you tap out, it's fine. You know, however it works. I couldn't upload it without saying I apologize in advance for the audio quality, because as the wife said over my shoulder as she was watching me edit, she said, I think you focus on this more than a lot of people do. But yes, regardless, here you are. I turn you over to me from some hours ago on a Wheelin Wednesday. Thank you, everybody, at least for making it this far. And a warm welcome back, everybody. Look at this up here. It's a beautiful morning. We're gonna do the thing. We're gonna do the thing today. We're gonna do a big loop. It might not be as visually stimulating as what you're used to, but we need to test the boys here. And if you'll recall back, I had this thought while getting these guys ready. He's got his live toads. He's ready. Look at his doors. Look at his doors. Nigel, styling. The idea occurred to me. So we're gonna go gate to gate. See this gate? We're starting at this gate. We're ending at this gate. We've got 16,000 milliamps on tap total.
Have you ever read the sign?
I don't think I can feel mountain lions.
Pick up children.
Pick up children, do not run. Loud noises are not a problem. Okay, do we think?
I used to drive Bruce right through here.
I can fit one leg through there now, so Bruce is not staying through there. We're testing as is per usual.
A number of things. That's a little spicy, Bruce. A number of things.
Bruce has got his new shocks. Nigel has got a whole bunch of new 3D stuff. He's rocking the battery in the bed now. I'm trying out a red spider thumb steer little guy The radio link thumb steer guy is on Nigel's radio. We're going on safari because when I get back, the first thing I do is check to see how much battery life is left.
I need to know how far can they go. So, Skeletra, that's how I'm pronouncing it. I don't know if that's correct.
Skeletra is running.
And we're going to find out. We're going to find out how far we go. I am at
42.
hearing your regular change. I'm not hearing, I'm not assuming you're on cruise right now.
Nope. I don't want to knock out your tail light again.
It's fine. When Amazon gets its back in stock, there's an alloy bumper that someone suggested me on the Discord. It looks like it'll be a pretty good fit. But I waited too long.
Didn't order it. And now it has an estimated delivery date about 3 weeks away. So I could order it and wait 3 weeks, or I can just wait for it to come back in stock on Amazon.
I generally pick the latter. I'm trying to get us a decent walking pace because it is not the summer right now. What it is 6:30 in the morning and it's already 70 degrees. So we won't like it, the cameras won't like it. We're out before sunrise. I can go a little faster. Right about there.
I'm trying to...
Yeah, it's way up. Speed once I cut on cruise.
So, as there is internet
located, I mean, I guess you could call it jealousy to a degree, where people say, how could you have gotten your wife
out there to play with toy cars? The ladies in our lives don't do that. What was the, like, is it just the walkies? Is the walkies
most of what gets you out here?
No. I mean, I do enjoy walking and being out in nature, but it's fun to drive. Especially when there's water involved.
Yeah.
And mud.
And mud. She does love the mud. She keeps saying that if there's a thing that I need,
it's mud. But
Wheelin Wednesday of last week, where we had the 10th scale flood, Plunge Creek is as
dry as a bone this morning. When I came, gonna do a little subtrim adjustment. Bruce is pulling something terrible.
But I must like driving with you because otherwise I wouldn't be out here on Mother's Day.
Well, I mean that's fair. That's true.
But I mean, you know, you can't sleep in. We have cats. So
the only thing in our house that sleeps in is our children. I don't know. His pull is not comparable.
Does that make it better or worse? Yeah, it's like one click, he pulls one way.
One click the other, he pulls the other.
I'm supposed to be getting, let me see if I can get a little closer. I keep trying changes in the camera gear, and they make a little
hydraulic damper with a GoPro. Not effective. Not effective. I guess I could see a scenario in which it would work. But if you have any accessory on your GoPro at all, it makes the GoPro too heavy, and then your GoPro just swings around like a pendulum, like a weight on the end of a rope. It was putting the image stabilization, however it does it, mechanically or electronically, it was putting that into more work than it has to do just attached to the end of a pole. Oh, I think I got it. He's doing much better now. I do like to see how far we can get Bruce to go with no inputs. You heard me talking. Oh, half completed thought. So I'd originally said Colin and Nigel were the guys in Bruce. So I guess Colin's middle name is Bruce because it's going to keep getting me confused. Now that this is Nigel, and this is Bruce, I guess they just named the vehicles after themselves. Look how good those doors look.
Having trouble getting the cruise right.
Yeah, I don't have them. They're not matched. I strive. I want to say it was the first time you were out when you drove the giant Jeep Cherokee, Big XJ. They were perfectly matched in speed, perfectly. They would just cruise together. Even when we did J Rover and the Zool both being just full-on Element platforms, I still didn't get a match. That looks pretty good right there.
I'm off cruise.
Oh.
I feel like it's easier and safer being off cruise.
Yeah, I can't, cruise or the video is only allowed to be about 30 minutes total because if I engage that thingy, if the index finger becomes involved, my arm basically goes to sleep. I don't know if it's an unnatural position to hold one's arm at. It feels like a not natural position. Now, I don't think that there's a connector if we cross there. I think we have to go up this way. Because that sand plant cut away a lot of the original road. You know what? We might have a lucky day here. Because it might not burn those clouds off until we're done. I'm heavily relying on cruise now. As I switch hands. If you want to get into multitasking, get the whole deal going. More than one vehicle. You have to have a camera attached to at least two things. I just stepped in the squidgiest mud of a dried puddle. My right foot now is like it's got one of those furniture sliders attached to the bottom of it. My worry before heading out this morning was, what are the shadows going to look like? And there aren't any, so... And by that I mean, like, I don't have to worry about the shadow of the camera apparatus on top of the rig. So fully charged, Bruce carries two LAHV 4200s, one under the hood, one in the bed. It would be smart if I were to make some sort of an adapter to run both batteries simultaneously. We've got parallel adapter, series adapter, parallel adapter. But I've run the juice out of Bruce once. After the last go round, I want to say I used the Adventures. I used the ones that are in Nigel. We've got a 4300 and a 3600. I ran the 4300 in one and the 3600 in the other, and basically they used almost the exact same amount of battery. A little bit more consumption out of the gate roller because he's heavier. But that was not, I don't feel like...
What he kept? Wire. Bruce is dragging some wire.
What do you got, guy? I see it. Bruce. Bruce trying to take some bailing. What is that from? Okay, so back on. One Creek was bone dry. This is the headwater of the Santa Ana River. It is not bone dry. I can hear the rumble, yeah. Definitely not the amount, and I should point out, while this is the desert, it's not 100 degrees all the time. So it is unseasonably hot right now. Hopefully we'll drop back down to normal for a couple weeks at least. I mean, June is right around the corner. June, not too bad here. We get what the talking heads on the news called June gloom, which to them, June gloom is this. How is this gloom? Like, Southern Californians have a mental condition, which is, if it's not 75 and cloudless, it's an environmental catastrophe. The absolute moment it starts raining, it's become stormwatch, and they're telling us about when we can expect these horrors to end. Despite the fact that it rains here 20 days a year. I didn't realize how close I was getting to the ground coming up this hill.
Puddle.
Whoa! Now we know where the water's going. All right. You've all seen Big Lake, where we drive the boat. And Plunge Creek is going into the settling ponds. We've never picked this route before. So it was my understanding that this is the whole point, not of this project, meaning what Bruce and Nigel and the wife and myself are doing right now, but this is the whole reason for our territory that we drive. Also, this is valuable to me. I would bring the boat here. Because this one seems less, it's that far side to side. This seems less daunting.
A lot of dragonflies.
Dragonflies are best. Oh, it's so peaceful. Look, you guys are looking at a wall. Look at that, like glass. There's your moment of zen. Good place to launch a boat. Good on you, clouds. We both have we both have leaf spring turning circles. Oh, find out where this goes. Oh, oh. So I do need to point out, you didn't break that. Bruce has got the dangly eye now. That broke the day the kids came with us. When I got rear-ended that day, and it broke that leg.
Sweet. Well, then that was either by Gavin or me.
But I have a replacement bumper. But I want to get a I want to get a metal bumper for him. So next time I'm running through a service, I want to get taillights on Nigel, if just for the look of taillights.
And the G-Wagon.
And the G-Wagon needs the full lights. I'm just waiting for a good price to get the full regalia.
And interior for the G-Wagon.
I'm I'm painting the interior. I tried all-surface, the multi-surface paint. For whatever reason, it did not bond at all. The paint just fell off. So I had to scrub the interior in the sink, get that paint off. And I'm kind of coming to the conclusion that it's going to be a matter of masking and spraying it. Where you going, Nigel? Nigel says, I don't know where you going. And I say, I don't know. We're following this road.
When I put the cruise on, I try to make sure I'm not right behind you, so I don't ram you.
You could be in front of me.
He's going a little faster.
We just did that thing of two people approaching each other in a hallway. We both steered back and forth simultaneously. There's another one. So the ponds that are further, we are heading almost due east right now. The ponds to the north of us are all almost empty. But the ponds over here are not. That is glass. So how does water come into this one? Because that's where water goes out. Oh, it's rushing. Ooh, I'd take that pile of gravel home.
Man, Sam.
Ow. Barefoot shoes, man. I can really feel rocks of a certain size.
Nigel's breaking off.
Nigel's heading out.
Ooh. Nigel's having fun. Come on, Bruce.
Oh, Bruce. Oh, it's powdery. Whoa. Have you ever walked on a mattress? It feels like walking on a mattress. Try not to wreck out here. Whoa. Okay, so the water is getting to that low one from this one. Good gracious. I think we've been at the top of this one before. Or I'm thinking of another one. Because this is a real big one. This is the one for the boat. This is the boat one. This is how far I have to walk to launch the boat because, like, look at the current. Current is important because then if you have some sort of issue, what am I looking at?
Oh, there's like bubbling. It's weird.
Oh, yeah.
The water is, the GoPro's not going to get it at all. The water is sparkly. This is just a good, oh, and look, it's not as soup underneath. It's a little soup. Look at that. Look how powerful the water's coming in. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen this one. You couldn't pay me money to go in there. That water is, it looks like a mirror on the top, but underneath it is just shades of green.
Murky.
It is murky. You can see about 4 or 5 inches into that water. We drink it eventually. Nigel is real peppy. I figured 1800, having my brain had disconnected from whatever gearing is in the motor mount. What do they call it? Prefixial? The prefixial plus T case in the FJ as it comes from FMS. So I was like, oh, we'll throw an 1800 on there because you want a little bit of trailing speed. Nigel's a rocket. Nigel's got to go fast. He's just also the lack of weight. Jumping.
Look at those beefy tires.
Speed off into the distance.
I mean, if not for the toy cars, I would not be out here walking.
I would.
The wife would. The toy cars get me out here. It's very similar to how the bicycle tricked me into exercising for all those years because I had conditioned my brain to think this isn't exercising, this is just, we're outdoors having a good time. So trailing became the same thing. I believe this road just ends. We are, oh, I see a little double track over there. All right, we're hitting the double track. So it sounds like a waterfall over there.
Ooh, stinky.
Ooh! She's got the sensitive nose, ears, all senses above mine. She got the woof stinky about 1 second before I did. She's not wrong. Woof stinky. You see, we did get some.
We're getting some 10th scale trailing in. And now, you know, ordinarily I just think,
No snake. You know. You do the little, you say a little prayer for yourself and you say, no snake.
never once have I considered mountain lions.
Not out here. Why is there a mountain lion out here? I mean, I guess this is the mountain lion's house. Then on the one hand, I'd be like, I want to see a mountain lion. And on the other hand, I'm like, no, you don't.
No, because you can run faster than me, so you would just lead me to the mountain lion.
Well, the sign said, make a lot of noise.
Don't run.
Don't run.
Pick up your children.
Pick
Don't
up your
forget.
children. That's a lot of stuff to consider when faced with the world's biggest house cat. Oh, it's lovely. Look at that wilty sky. It's lovely out in it. I don't know if we're gonna I'm mentally. Oh, Nigel taking that rock straight on.
Yeah.
Kind of mentally trying to judge how far.
So many gnats.
Yes, the gnats.
I think I would exchange potential of mountain lion if they removed all the gnats. It's time of day, but the gnat population is crazy. Plant 125. Now we know the sand plant is plant 125. Some datura growing over there. And I don't know what roads have been truncated, because I used to hey, here's a callback. I used to ride the bike out here all the time. Because even though I was primarily a roadie bro, but you see what we're on, right? This is long-term spring territory. So even a road bike out here is no problem as long as the tires are a little wide. By that I mean like 28 millimeter. Put the on that.
Sorry, I was trying to get cruise control again. Finger got tired.
It is very sensitive setting on the cruise. And it is, oh! Ugh. Hachi mama! Woo!
Ah!
It smells like the pet shop is cleaning out every fish tank all at once. Woo! But if you notice where the thickest aquarium smell is, there's no gnats. Even the gnats don't like it. All right, we're heading as far south as we've ever been. Am I to understand? So that pole is a solar panel. I'm guessing that the sluice gate or whatever is operating here. So solar panel up there, rushing water down there. I'm guessing whatever that goes to lets the water out. There's some sort of power panel. It's infrastructure. Who doesn't love infrastructure? Multiple voltage sources. Danger. Doesn't seem so dangerous. We're gonna get some miles on Bruce today. I learned a valuable thing last week, which is once you start an activity, you can't change your vehicle. And that's a bit of a problem for me, because when I was riding the bike, Strava, it didn't happen. And we've gotten swept up in the same thing now with Skeletra recording the trailing, or it didn't happen. But on Strava, you absolutely could change what bike you use after you do the activity. You're free to do it. So my brain is still in the Strava mindset, as it were. So Dana didn't get credit for the last week, so still sitting on 0 miles. This is the water body you come if you have a sailboat. But over here, I can't repeat it just winds on and on. This has got to be half a mile long. The water is as still as I've ever seen it. I'm going to break here momentarily. Wait, I got to find a hole in the weeds. There we go. Big rock is. I don't know, I'm a sucker for water that looks like a mirror. Oh. It's also kind of, it's not the same that it was over there. Over there it was just bubbly. But over here, there's definitely some, how did you get behind me? There's some form of decomposition going on down there. because that water's percolating. Now, I think this is the head of the Santa Ana. We have a lot of confluence here because off there, just below the rising sun, that one, is Mount San Gorgonio, which is the tallest mountain around here. We have a number of creeks. We've got Mill Creek, the Zanja, Santa Ana River, City Creek, which is wonderfully named, Plunge Creek, which I do think is a pretty good name. And they all kind of converge about, they converge about 6-7 miles downstream or so.
That is not potable water.
That is not potable water. Ooh, it's bubbling. So where the Santa Ana actually originates, about, I would say, less than a mile due south, so directly ahead of where we are right now, is what they call the Santa Ana River Basin. But when they built the big dam up here, Seven Oaks Earthfill Dam, they basically just changed the route. They moved the way the river goes to basically direct it through here, because it's how dams were, I think, originally intended to work, because it's supposed to slow the water down up here so that it all just doesn't flow 70 miles west into the Pacific Ocean, because there's more people here all the time and we need to drink that water. So that's what all this water is. So is what's behind Seven Oaks Dam the Santa Ana River? I don't know. I think so. But the Santa Ana River might start down the floodplain that's about half a mile. Wow, they're really getting away from us. Are they speeding up or are we slowing down? It's cruise control. We're slowing down. You don't get tired. It's kind of annoying how not tired they get. If the battery runs low, you just put in another one. Okay, go to the beach. Go to the beach. So this was a different route to a similar destination. That sand plant is way over there. These guys are getting... I'm only this far in. They're not running me. The forearm brace for the RC4 is still yet to be realized, and today is the day where I feel it. Just letting some, it's not the weight, it's the hold your arm in a, I have a coffee mug in my hand position for an hour.
I want smart cruise like they have in the Corolla and the Subaru.
Right? All these fancy radios that cost $1 bajillion, we're smart cruise. I've gotten used to smart cruise. I mean, I'm not complaining too much because at least this radio has cruise. This would not be manageable without. The RC4. Ooh, okay. We're gonna have to go properly slow. Bring it down, Bruce. Bring it down. Because we're trading in the gnats. Okay, 12 miles an hour is good. Oh God, no, it's more gnats than ever. Now catch up, Nigel. I don't see very many out. I think we're all right. Do you like bees? Do you like bees? Yeah, they mind their own business. Oh, I don't like bees though. That's a very Fallout vibe. Brazilian honey. That's a lot of bees. I love bees. I love seeing bees. Bees mean things are working. Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of dead
So,
bees.
if you look on the ground, do you see all of these pebbles? A little dark. You've already figured out what they are, right? Those are all bees. Every little dark brown spot on the ground is a dead bee.
Maybe the heat?
There are tens and tens of thousands of dead bees on the ground. That's why whenever I see a bee in the air, I'm like, good. Yeah, apparently in other parts of this country, this one was a nice little creek going into a pond. That's a pretty good spot. It'd be an excellent spot if it wasn't surrounded by 50 million bees. We walked across this that one day. Remember, the road just ended, and we went down, and there was just a little trickle of water.
Was that the one with all the bees?
There's a little bit of water in it now. So those little gates, I mean, this sounds like, I sound like an idiot when I explain what the little gates are doing. The little gates are sending water where it wants to send water. Yeah. I would say it is 5 degrees warmer than when we started, maybe more. I'm starting to feel it. And we are not putting in that high of a level of effort. And by we, I mean the humans. Bruce and I just do this all day. My biggest worry about those guys is a wheel not falling off. But when I had to get out my new best friend, the Fantic K100 Flip, and clean them off after the last time they went, Bruce is not, I can say fairly comfortably that Bruce is never going to lose a tire. It's about 1 minute to get each wheel off. Now, Nigel, those are pretty fresh, but they are lug nuts out in the open. Little cover is that added degree of oh, easy, Nigel. Oh, he's getting rowdy.
Let's see where Gavin gets it from.
Yeah. Our eldest definitely has the Nigel spirit in him. But at the same time would not be allowed to drive Nigel because he cannot be trusted with that much speed and aggression. He was bad enough with Gate Rover. We needed the younger one driving Nigel so that they could escape. We might end up with we might end up covering half of the journey. I was not anticipating. I thought the loop might be 4 miles. I think now I'm starting to think it's longer. I think it's closer to 5. It's not a 10K, but it's definitely moving along.
That's about there for 4 miles?
Yes. She did 4 miles. 4.5 yesterday. Oh, you're gonna get at least 4.5 today. And then at the same time, I have a problem with pacing. I've always had a problem with pacing. So I would get on the bike and ride far faster and harder than I needed to. I wasn't racing anybody. Because right now, I slowed him down, I was at 43. Now I'm at, no, I must have been at 53, because now I'm at 49, and it feels super slow.
Yeah. I don't know which way you're going.
My left arm disagrees. It is a fantastic morning for us, I will say.
Is that the color purple? Or is that just my eyes?
It's definitely got a purple hue to it.
Oh, pretty. I don't know if I've
That
ever
water's
seen
not
purple.
pretty. That water looks like if you filled a bowl full of raisin bran and then left it overnight.
Ooh. I just saw it.
Sludgy. There's the gate. There's the gate. There's a Strava segment that goes around the big bowl. And I've ridden that one all together too many times. We're going to kind of loosely do that. Pick up a little more speed. I cannot also remember how Bruce, did I have to pick him up? Get him over this gate? I don't remember. I think we've only been through this gate one time. These used to be wide open all the time. When I came up here and rode the bike, you'd just ride straight through the gates and never closed. Oh, I think he fits. We're gonna Tetris him. I think Nigel just drives right under. No. Ooh. It was a close pass on Nigel. This fits, right? Then, if I recall correctly,
Yeah.
I don't hear a helicopter. But if you go up even higher, see how the it's our usual haunt. Oh, something's come through. Plow or something's coming through. Here we go. Flat. Some very flat. We've got some. We've got a full-on algal bloom out here. I don't know if this would be boat accessible by this time of year. The water's as high. It's back up almost to the height that it was originally. It's down a couple feet, but the whole shore edge is semi-solid.
There were 4 ducks over there a second ago.
It'd be like trying to boat in applesauce. I think the ones here dove.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows what ducks do? If only they would turn that helicopter off. It's so quiet. It's lovely. It really is. Oh!
Oh wow, they came up so far away from where they dove.
Yeah, they're those little, I think they're called grebes. They're like little black, little duck fellows, and they have like little white heads. They're just doing duck business, you know. It's a good time. It's a good time to be a duck. If anybody ever asks you, what bird would you want to be? Waterbird seems like the jam. I don't know if I would specifically pick duck, because, you know, the whole thing with shotguns and whatnot. Canada goose seems pretty good. You guys can all hear my inner monologue, right? How much of this
Oh Lord.
can I take home in my pockets?
No.
Look at some of these. Oh my goodness. This
There's not a
is
single place we go where he isn't thinking about rocks.
this is truly delightful, because this is rock. Look at it. I almost drove Bruce right into a lake. Oh, there's more. Oh. This explains why the road is freshly tamped. The boys are just out here maneuvering. Oh man. Look at all this granite. Want it. Want it all. You have to pay for landscaping rock. Like if you want stone, and it's crazy expensive. They smash all this stuff up and then dump it in piles out near the lake, where it's inaccessible, because I would take it all home a little bit at a time. Like a crazy person. I acknowledge it. The problem is only a problem if you acknowledge that it's a problem. What is that?
nothing in it.
All right.
There's birds in it.
Okay. But it says something on the front of it.
Wait. Okay, I almost crashed into burst.
I did just stop. What are these little guys? Adventure. There's some little footprints. Ooh, a child was here, or a very small woman. Warning. H5N1 disease surveillance. Okay. That's fine. Close enough for me then. I know they say don't handle the birds. I don't intend on handling the birds. So just avian flu. That's all. Get a good. I like how the super low angle keeps the lake completely out of vision until you're on top of it. You can see the shore edge. Ooh. And there's like little islands of it out there now. It's so green. It's so big. I understand. Many of you live in parts of the world where water is just a thing that happens all the time. This is the desert, and there was never water in this for, geez, up until probably 15 years ago. I know. On a human lifespan scale, that seems like kind of a lot. Geologically, I feel like our cloud cover is losing the fight. Jeez, halfway is way over there. This was ambitious, to be sure. We are at 187. That's in miles, kilometers. Right about 3 kilometers so far. Not too far. But it means if we turned around right now, we would be looking at 6. So we're definitely past the 5K for the day. And this one, I gesture over my shoulder with my thumb. This one walks 10 minutes after she eats anything. Which is like a thing because it like makes your metabolism run properly. I follow my human instincts, which is if I eat, I fall asleep in my chair for a little while. You know, speeds the digestion that way.
But I'm in training.
Hello, rabbit. He's like, nuh-uh, I'm out. Look at him go.
I also apparently work out 7 days a week.
Yes. If not in the gym, in one way or another. Oh, want that one. So that was the rock pile. No, this isn't the rock pile from before. There's Nigel again.
Oh, did you see that bounce?
That was you got a little bit of air. Nigel jumped a little. And the battery's out. Nigel's neck is broke.
Nigel's dead.
After the accident, post-incident report, the gnats are already setting upon Nigel.
Well, he's going back. He's good.
I did not anticipate scoring on the seat.
Well, these are the risks of letting your wife come out and drive with you. She likes to have fun. And sometimes that includes flipping a car.
The back doors are going to have a new mechanism because they don't appear to stay closed anymore.
There you go.
We got a good clip there.
He hasn't learned his lesson.
He has not learned his lesson.
He's going to flip again. You should have put his roll cage on.
I should have put his roll cage on. I didn't get his rear axle installed, which has the new MKRC builds, angled leaf mounts, which are pretty much the same thing that I spent
4 hours building for Bruce's rear axle to get his pumpkin angle better. But that was a whole rigmarole because I was combining FMS leaf springs with F10s, and
they didn't fight me all the way, but they definitely fought. FMS, for those who did not follow along any of the Bruce series, FMS really went their own way. They made a leaf
that's 140 millimeters long. Pretty much everybody else is 120 millimeter leaf. Pretty much everybody else has 3 millimeter holes in the leaves because you bolt the leaf stack down just by putting screws through it.
Well, they actually use U-bolts and shackles and their pins that pass through the leaf springs. And those pins are 2.5 millimeters, so
to adapt them to fit any other leaf mount, you have to drill out the holes, but the spacing is also not the same as any other leaf spring. So you get to fabricate your own adapters. Should you? Well, I mean, you can 3D print them. The ones that are going on
Nigel will be the 3D printer variety. I'm made out of aluminum because I have a long-running
love-hate relationship with aluminum. We get along, we don't get along. I've started to embrace it more as I've begun working with an increased range of materials. Aluminum is just like an annoying hardwood, like something that would grow out here. Osage orange, manzanita, ironwood, they're all great looking and miserable to work with. Osage orange has actual sand in it, so it's fun to turn off a light and fire up the table saw and watch all the blue sparks come off the blade as you cut through the sand inside the wood, and just think how much each individual cut is costing in terms of blade life, because that sand and that carbide meet, and it is a little bit of unstoppable force and immovable object. So sometimes the blade takes a little out and sometimes the sand takes a little out. So aluminum just gums everything up. It's silver butter, right? It's honestly easier to work with steel. It was
significantly more effort and labor to make Bruce's
leaf adapters than it was to make his 1 pound front bumper. The 1 pound front bumper was easy. Well, I didn't have to follow anybody else's rules. I didn't have to make sure hole spacing was right. I'm amazed he drives as straight as he does, because I had to make, so there's Power Hobby, I think they're Power Hobby, leaf adapters for F10 on the front, and then my adapters to adapt to the Power Hobby leaf adapters. So the goal is, next time he has to be pulled down for any reason, I will refabricate his front leaf mounts,
and then I'll have a full set of Power Hobby leaf adapters for F10T,
and I'll have no idea what to do with them. I don't know how many leaf spring vehicles I need.
Which goes into the idea about class ones. We have one, right? Old Blue is class 1 and leaves. Like, I feel like I have to be so delicate, like I treat them over precious, and I think that's the biggest problem. I just need to treat them like everybody else. So I'm going to build at least one class 1 full length.
We have the plans on that one, the LC70. I've accumulated most of what I need.
I've had a set of class 1 tusks hanging in a bag
For what feels like a year. I've got a chassis, I've got a body, I probably have shocks, and maybe enough stuff to do the links. It's just axle. What am I going to do for axles?
Portal would make portal maybe. Going through the thought process here. Because if I portal it, I'm not dealing with all of the holdups of Class 1.
I won't be capable of putting the servo anywhere but on the chassis. Because to me,
Class 1 is chassis mounted steering, little tires. Y'all out there, y'all hardcores with, ooh, we're getting down into the bottom of the battery. Getting down near the very bottom. I don't know if halfway is in the cards. Bruce's taillight is hanging ever lower. And I feel like I've been walking uphill
We are.
non-stop for an hour.
I'm hoping my little mic isn't picking up me breathing heavy.
It's pretty good on the noise cancel. You got noise canceling on both.
just feel it getting warmer and warmer and warmer. Oh! I do hope the mic picked up that little breeze. That felt wonderful. The air was almost as still as the water. And not
To sound the way it's gonna sound. I was watching Nigel and driving Bruce.
I was like, why is he not turning?
I cannot find the spot to get him to track straight. There's too much crown to the road, I think.
I want to say that I'm going to try to drive Nigel a little safer, but no.
He's got that speed in him. He's got his big tires.
He just wants to go crazy.
There's been a request made to see RoboKitty come out. I can do it. I figure
that works on two levels, because it will get me to fix the gong.
Because I think that would be a great pairing to come out on a day together. And there are spots here that are rock crawling / trailing.
Ooh.
Never trailed in a buggy. Yeah, look how far away from us they're getting, because I am slowing down. And I have the cruise even slower to try to accommodate, and they're just getting away. Bruce is just hard charging. When we swing out, hopefully about midway up, when we turn north, it kind of tapers at the top. It's kind of a, what is that? Parallelogram? It's a rhombus? When we get to the middle of the rhombus, that'll be halfway. I'll be able to tell you how many miles we're going to get in. Maybe, it's possible. I can't rule it out. Maybe we can get a screenshot of the Skeletra up for our grand day out. Because his battery has gone, I want to say 3.5 miles. But that was when Bruce was on the batteries that Nigel's using, which are older. The 4300, which Nigel's running on right now, has got a little tiny bit of squishiness to it, a little pillowiness to it. Because I think it's maybe been drawn down a little too low a couple times. I had an idea. I had an idea in my head for how far this was going to be.
And then what happened is I'm really bad at math. We're at 2.5. It's probably another 1/4 of a mile to get to the middle. So depending on what twists and turns transpire between when we turn west and make it back to the gate, we may end up on a 10K. I did not anticipate 5K out, 5K back. I really did think.
Either.
I was thinking maybe I gotta stop. He's 100 and some feet away, and never touched the cruise. Whew, stink bug. He got startled when these guys drove by. He was doing, oh, okay. The battery indicator has begun to flash. As the car is over the horizon. That's the lake. Oh my goodness. One's reach should always exceed their grasp, and we've done that today. I don't want this thing to conk out on me and lose the whole file, so I'm also breathing really heavy like an idiot. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining us on a Wheelin Wednesday. I will pop in with an update at the end to give you how far we went and if anything cool happened. So thanks, everybody. Wheelin Wednesday, which is actually on Sundays, the Mother's Day edition. We're just under halfway at 2.6 miles. So thanks for coming along with us. We drove in a big L shape, I think. I will see you in the next one. The update. 4.01 miles. Bruce slowed down a real lot on the cruise, which means we can get let's round it off for convenience, a 1 amp per hour, meaning we've got, I was going to put in, we have an emergency battery in the back, which is a little 2200, and I was going to put the 2200 in, but we've got at least another mile. I think it's actually over a mile, so let's get this slapped in here. I was going to say one strap is enough, but then the other strap will dangle down in the tire. That's probably not good. It's not the easiest battery swap you've ever seen. It's a little easier to reach up on it. This is a part of why Bruce's inner fenders haven't been installed yet. You basically need to be able to reach up through the fender to plug his battery in. Powered back up, and Bruce is ready to go. 4 miles out of a 4,200. Might as well call that 1 amp per hour. We can figure out what that works if we want to do math right now, but I don't. I will get you an update again when we make it. It's still wonderful out. When we make it the rest of the way back. Had to fire up the phone here. Getting pretty close to the end here, but we noted this would have been the perfect section for the low angle GoPro shots, because look when we get in here into the double track. This is some perfect 10th scale environment. And little final note-ish. We definitely, the part where the GoPro battery decided it had enough, that was definitely past halfway. We took a much longer route out and the shortest possible route back, because we're at like 4.7, I think, 4.5. We might come out under 5 miles, but now we know 1 amp an hour
But Nigel's still on the 4300 adventure. So weight costs, you got to pay. So just didn't want you to miss out on the little last part here. I hope it's not too bobbly. We've still got about, geez, I don't want to do the math. How far apart are telephone poles? However far apart telephone poles are, we've got about 6 more. We've got about 6 more poles to go. See, I'm not even worried about shadows. We're almost done. You see now, there are shadows. The sun is winning. Yeah, we're right over there. Red roof building. We're heading for that. All in all, pretty good. There's the selfie pole. Yeah, we'll come in. That was a poop. She ran over a poop. Nigel, we'll come in maybe a hair shy of 5 miles on the day. Pretty good one. The clouds were real saviors here on the day. I'm not even framing them up. All right, that draws that right there. The 2 poles that are at like 45 degrees to each other. That second one is the car. We're parked right over there. Thanks, everybody. We had, you know what? Grand time was had by all. I'm running through all the possible battery options that we can install. And I will tell you this, Nigel made this whole trip on a Genzace Adventure 4300. So he did just about 5 miles. Good on him, good on ya. Now we get a chance to get that part in. Tune in next time for whatever we got coming up next. Thanks for joining us for this one. In between now and then, please, one and all, do your best. Have a good one, everybody. We'll see you again here from the canyon or outside or wherever we might be on that day. We're gonna pack it up. We're gonna head on home. We're gonna do the things. Enjoy your day. I had a good time. Did you have a good time?
I had a good time.
She had a good time. We all had a good time. Keep on having a good time. We'll see you next time, everybody.
I can't believe those birds are prisoners for testing.
Right? Those are H5N1 birds.
So we saw 2, no, they're testing for that, but we saw a scary mountain lion sign and birds in a cage for diseases.
Nature!